Hi, kiddos. Thanks for coming to Grandpa Ken's reading room. You can tell now you're here. All my friends are here. Thanks for coming. Get comfy. We're going to read, as you can probably tell by the hat, another Curious George. This time he's going to go to a movie. Let's see if that's fun, huh? This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One afternoon, George took a trip into town with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. See, he rode a bus. Yeah, rides a bus downtown to go to the movies. Look, George, the man said as they walked by the theater. The movie we've been waiting to see is here. If we hurry, we can make the next show. 2 tickets, please, said the man with the yellow hat. See, look at him. It's a dinosaur movie. What now George is going to have liking that? As they walked through the lobby, the smell of the popcorn made George hungry. Oh, I love that smell too. But when he stopped in front of the concession stand, his friend said, "Let's find our seats first," said George. "The movie's about to begin." That's what all the grown-ups say. Inside the theater, they found 2 seats right in the front. The man with the yellow hat whispered, "George, I'll go get some popcorn now. Stay here and watch the movie." And famous last words were George, "And please stay out of trouble." George promised to be good. There he goes, see? George goes, "That popcorn smells good," and I agree with him. George was enjoying the movie when all of a sudden a big dinosaur jumped out onto the screen. It made George jump right out of his seat. George was curious. Was he the only one to jump out of his seat? He looked around. Looking around, George saw a bright light coming from a little window at the back of the theater. Was that what made the movie appear on the screen? Uh-oh, his curiosity. Here we go again. Though he'd promised to be good, little monkeys sometimes forget. Yeah, even big monkeys like me. And soon George was at the back of the theater, but the window was so high, not even a monkey could climb up to see through it. Usually there's a room behind the window, thought George. That was good thinking. But how could he get inside? Then he saw a door. See? He's exploring because his curiosity. George raced up the stairs and peeked inside. He saw a strange machine with 2 spinning wheels, and it was making a funny noise, like tick, 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 tick. And it was making the light that came through the window. Now he could see how the movie worked. But when he stepped into the room, George was so surprised to see a boy sitting in a chair. But that wasn't the worst. The boy was surprised to see the monkey standing in his room. In fact, the boy was so surprised, he jumped right out of his seat and he knocked the wheels right off the machine. Downstairs, the theater, the audience began to shout and stomp their feet. They wanted to watch the movie, and he had just kicked the wheels, the film wheels, right off the machine. So there was nothing coming on. But the movie was all over George. George felt awful. The movie had stopped and it was all his fault. "This is no place for a monkey," said the boy, working quickly to unwind George and rewind the movie. "Why don't you wait by that window while I fix this mess?" George wasn't very honest. As George waited, he looked out the window at the audience and the big blank screen. When he moved in front of the light, he was in front of the machine, he saw the shadow down below. That reminded George of a trick. Can you guess what he's going to do? Look at the guy unwrapping all the film around George. He arranged his hands just so, and a bunny appeared on the screen. Then George made a dog, a duck, Another dog. It's a puppy, someone from the audience shouted. See? He's putting his hands in those positions, and in the light shines through him. It looks like a puppy. Others joined in. It's a bird, they said. George made the bird fly away. See? He was entertaining him while the guy was fixing the movie without even knowing it. Then the audience saw George's shadow up on the screen. They were delighted. It's a monkey, a child yelled, and the audience laughed and clapped. This is better than a movie, said a girl to her friend. Just as George was about to run out of tricks, the boy announced that the movie was ready to go. The audience cheered, once for the movie and once for George. See, he got him back, and George he was running out of tricks anyway. The audience was still cheering when the man with the yellow hat ran into the room. I thought I'd find you in here, George, he said, and he apologized to the boy for the trouble George caused. Yeah, he did give me a scare, the boy said, but thanks to his hand shadows, everyone waited patiently for the movie to be fixed. Then the boy restarted the movie. Would you like a treat for your performance, George, he asked. And before the dinosaur appeared again on the screen, oh, what do you think it's going to be? See the man with the hat? He comes in, and there's George. He knew it. George and the man with the yellow hat were back in their seats, this time with popcorn. See? So George again got into trouble with his curiosity, but he did save the day with his hands. So remember, you all enjoy it. Enjoy my stories. Come on back. Tell your grown-ups about us and your friends and kiddos, and just come on back. I love you, and I enjoy reading to kiddos and have for a lot of years. Grandpa Ken's getting old. Come on back. See you later, guys. Have a great one.